Okay, class. Now that we reviewed the words that we learned just a couple lessons ago and about all the ingredients that we can use to bake a cake, today we're going to learn how we can measure some of the things that we put in the cake. Okay?
Yeah.
Can you tell me again, just so that I know that you understand some of, or you remember some of the things that we learned, some of the things we put in the cake? What are they? Could be
Butter,
eggs, very
milk,
good job, Lay. Flour,
and sugar.
Sugar is a good one. Okay, so we're going to learn a couple more words today for ingredients, and then we're also going to learn how can we measure. One thing is very important that when we put anything inside of a bowl to bake, we need to make sure we measure really well. And that's why we need to know if it's asking for a teaspoon or a tablespoon, because nobody wants to eat a salty cake or nobody wants to eat a sweet potato pie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's learn about that. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few of these measuring spoons. So do you know what the word measuring means?
Yep.
Yes? Okay, so measuring, so it's something that's going to help you to know how much, a quantity that you're supposed to put in there. That's a measure, right? So this one is like a tablespoon. Look at that. It's a big one. And this kind of, not so big, a little less, it's a teaspoon. And then this one is a half of a teaspoon. See how it fits inside there?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a quarter of a teaspoon. So see how they all fit in? So which one is the smaller? Any idea of the four?
Yeah, the quarter teaspoon.
The quarter teaspoon. Very good. So the word teaspoon is, have you seen a spoon? Of course, right?
Yeah.
This one is a teaspoon. But when we put into a measuring device, look what it looks like. This one, it's the same amount that goes in here, would go in here, but it looks different, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So these measurements are very important for us to use when we are baking something. And then look at this. These are called measuring cups. And we have 4 different kinds here, 4 different sizes. Again, the bigger one is like 1 cup, okay? This one, it fits right in there. It's kind of a half a cup. Oops. And then this one is a third of a cup. So you've got a cup, you're dividing how many parts to have a third?
3.
3. Very good. Already, Jess. Very good. And then this one is a quarter of a cup. How much? How many times do you divide a cup? 4 parts. Very good. Okay. So they all also fit one inside of another. Okay. And then there are different kinds of other measurement ways that we can use here. This one, it has all the measurements here in, on this side and also here. So this goes into cups and this goes into ounces and milliliters and liters. And this one also has all different kinds of like where you should put your quantity if you need to measure that stuff. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this recipe. Can you look in here?
Yeah.
And there you go. Both of you take a look at it and tell me if you have a problem recognizing any of the words there. No? Go,
Yeah.
Jess.
What does this T mean here?
Oh, let's
One
see.
tea salt and
One
one
tea?
tea baking powder.
Yeah, well, one is a captain and one is so small.
Okay, so that's a very good question. Okay, so many times you might find a recipe that has the words written this way. And one of the ingredients asks for 1, and this is a small tea of salt. So this one is a lowercase t, right? So the lowercase t usually means a teaspoon. And the capital T is a tablespoon. And because it's a capital T, it's the big spoon, the bigger one. And the lowercase is the So, Jess, look at the recipe here and tell me which one would you use for the salt?
The smaller one.
Okay, so what is this called? Do you remember?
Teaspoon. Yeah.
Teaspoon. Very good.
Yay.
And then, how about this one? What is the ingredient that I was asking?
Baking powder.
Very good. So a baking powder is asking for what?
Tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. Very good. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else there that we don't know. Any ingredients that you don't know the name of?
What is cocoa?
Cocoa. All right. So look at this. Cocoa is another way to say chocolate, but it's in a different form. So it's kind of a bitter. Do you know what bitter means? Do you know, Jess, what bitter is? So cocoa is a much more fine powder. Like if I blow this now, it just goes everywhere. And look, that looks like a chocolate powder.
Yeah.
It is, but it's called cocoa because it's like super bitter. Like it's not sweet at all. Okay?
Yeah.
So let me just tell you one really quick thing. It's really important, again, when we make a cake or anything that we are baking or cooking, we have to measure really well. Lei, do you remember in one of our classes that we had that we were asking to put a lot of flour, or like a quarter cup of flour?
Yeah.
And remember what I told you, when we measure, we have to be really very precise, right? Good.
Yay.
And measuring just what we need, not a big amount. And then we just pour there. Because if not, we don't get a good result, right?
Yeah.
You understood all that? Do you think you can understand all that?
Yeah.
Well, and because you guys were such great students today, look what I got for you.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
There we go, the real treat.
Yay!
But remember, next time we're going to bake together so that we are going to be able to enjoy the cooking that you guys do. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.